So, number one, I just want to say, um, look what happened today. Were you shocked to see what happened today? Uh, you clearly saw with your own eyes a man in a German stock exchange talk about the future price potential of XRP. Now, are you surprised to see what you did see? Honest question. And if you are, why? Because this wasn't difficult to evaluate. This wasn't difficult to understand. What I think a lot of people failed to grasp is the concept of the magnitude of the scale. The reason being, and I think the reason why that occurred is because I think people in 2018, 2019 failed to understand the scope of what is trying to be achieved. So, one second. So I think people failed to not understand the scope of what is trying to be achieved. If you were to look back at 2018, go to 2018 and try to see the concepts of what people thought this entire thing would be. By the way, if anyone's going to do this, because I already know you're going to do this, there's an 8 on that side, and there's a 23 there. Let me close that window now. For all you loving decoders out there. Okay, much better. So, yeah, there's an 8 there. 23 there. I did that on purpose. Don't worry, it's not a secret message. What I think people failed to grasp in 2018 was the understanding of what is trying to be achieved here. When you're integrated into the banking financial rails, that isn't a small task. That isn't, and that's what I think people were thinking. I think people were thinking, let's just use this type of software and integrate it into something like Western Union or something of that nature, like a MoneyGram or a Walmart. And sure, that's fine, but that's like kids play in the world of banking. Like that's kids play. That's really like playing in the sandbox. So why are we trying to introduce technology that's so revolutionary yet leave so much on the table? It's wasted potential. And I don't know if this is an advantage that I think maybe I had back in the day. I really don't know. But when people thought okay, we're going to integrate the XRPL and we're just going to do this and that, blah, blah, blah. People literally just thought that was it. And because of that, they said, I don't know how to stop the screen from, sorry. They said that, that's better. They said that price can only go to $5, $10 because, I think their scope and vision was limited to what It can be. And there's nothing wrong with that. Um, you know, not everyone can see everything. There's nothing wrong with not knowing everything in life and not wanting to learn more. People who think they know everything most likely know nothing. And people who know nothing are the ones who learn to learn everything. So there's nothing wrong with admitting back, like if you're one of the people in 2018 that didn't understand the size and scope. Now, for me, at least even in 2018, what I notice is like if something sits in the middle of something, that something is, regardless of what you classify it, regardless of what you want to call it, it doesn't really matter to me. That's irrelevant. I don't care about that. What you call it is irrelevant, but what it is relevant. There's only one thing in the entire planet right now that sits in the middle of everything. And it's been sitting in the middle of everything for a really long time. So, the guy on Twitter, I forget what his name is, the Val guy that likes to yell at little kids because he has no friends. He went on a space with me earlier in the year last year, and he said, "Oh, Babacugs doesn't think that the XRP is going to be like a world reserve currency." Slowly break down that sentence. A world reserve currency. I do not think it becomes a world reserve currency. A world reserve system or a synthetic like world reserve system. That's what I've always thought it could be. A synthetic doesn't have, like, I don't think there will be an official classification. But if it acts, if it lives and breathes the same responsibilities and does the same job as what the United States dollar does by sitting in the middle of everything, then technically, in essence, it is like a synthetic world reserve currency. But the system itself is what's important, not the token. It's the system that is they want in the middle. And that's where, when I used to see that, I would say XRP is like a global liquidity pool. And I would tweet this. You can go check in 2019. Look, a global liquidity pool. And I would say that, and that just that concept, you have to understand that concept. You have to understand what a global liquidity pool is. So I want to actually get back to that. Let me just get back to the global liquidity pool for a second. I mean, fast forward. I'm just really curious now. What are the people who hate XRP, the people who doubt XRP, the people who like to talk shit about XRP, the people who spend literally hours a day coming onto your spaces talking crap? Are they going to say that the guy in the suit at the Frankfurt Exchange doesn't know what he's talking about? Are they going to say that any price valuation other than theirs is correct and everything you think is wrong? What excuses will these people have now? That's just my honest question, because I don't think they have many left. And if they continue to repeat the same things, even though reality has given them their answer, then they're just a schmuck. And you don't need to waste your time on schmucks, no offense. So, back to the liquidity pool. Why people would say back in the day that it can only go to a certain price, and instantly, without even me thinking about it, I would always just say that's impossible. So a liquidity pool, think of it like a rainy day fund. In a rainy day fund, there has to be enough funds in the middle to support everything. And as the fund gets bigger, the liquidity within it has to get bigger to support the people in the pool. Otherwise, you have a problem. So I never understood how anyone here could possibly say to anyone with half a brain that XRP can only go to $5. Because 98% of YouTubers in 2018 would say that. And it literally takes 2 seconds of math to understand that's impossible. Now, when it achieves it, in what time frame, in according to in correlation to like your investing period, that's a different story. But to say that something should be that important, yet that irrelevant by saying that the price will never go there is counterintuitive. It defeats. It's a contradiction on everything you believe. Just like I tell people, it's a contradiction to say, if XRP is the future, why do you care about selling it tomorrow? I don't understand. Like, if I think that XRP has the potential to be a world reserve currency system, why the fuck are you thinking about selling it tomorrow? Does that make any sense to you? It doesn't to me. Maybe you need to sell a little bit for, life purposes, medical bills, stuff like that. But to say, I'm going to sell as soon as it goes up, just means you don't know why you own XRP in the first place. You really don't. And I also think that when people say they're mad about price, why are you mad about price? So I need to literally actually ask yourself, why did you buy XRP? Why didn't you take that money instead and go buy Dogecoin? So you took that money because somewhere inside of you, while doing your research, you thought that this thing would have a higher, future value based off of the partnerships, the PDFs, the information you've seen, the videos, whatever it is. Now, if you believe something is going to increase in price in the future, I want to know why you thought that was going to happen. And your answer is going to be because banks are going to integrate it into their financial rails and use the system to move value. Okay, so you bought XRP because you expect banks to move value across networks. Fine. So why are people mad about price if the very reason you own XRP hasn't even started yet? So you're not mad about price because you think XRP has failed you. You're mad about price because you just need validation to make sure that you're okay when you go to sleep at night. That isn't how investing works. You invest based off of objective material, facts, and words and numbers and things that you see in front of you, not so that you can go to sleep at night feeling okay. That's not investing. That's just not something else. That's just something else. That's cuddling, making sure the baby's okay at nighttime. So, as adults, I hope that today's video, shows and illustrates that sometimes people back in the day actually knew what they were thinking and talking about. And just because the large majority doesn't understand it or see it, doesn't mean it's not real. It just means that their realities are this, and they haven't seen this yet. So, to further explain, in case people don't understand how a liquidity pool works, or why it must be the way it must be, otherwise it does not work, I've created a demonstration for you all. It's pretty funny, actually. No, can't have that right now. It's pretty funny. I think you'll like it. It's very technical, very difficult to understand. But here at the DeVry Institute of Technology, we do things the right way. So, I've created an elaborate okay, you know what? I'm not going to stand for this. I've created an elaborate demonstration of what a liquidity pool is. Can you guys see the cups? Is there a chat room that you can see cups? Let's bring this up a bit. Oh. Can you guys see the cups? Okay. I don't know if you can see the cups. Let's open this window. Now can you see the cups? Okay. Let's see what's going on in the chat room here. I'm going to show you guys a demonstration of what, or how, or why it must be the way it is. Because if it isn't the way it is, then it all fails. It all collapses. It doesn't work. So it's very simple to just explain. I just need to understand how this thing works. So how do I check like chats? I have no idea. Fantastic. Share screen? Nope. Nope. How do I, like, is there any way for me to see the actual chat? I have no idea how this stuff works. Nope. Great. There's currently 5. Okay. Does this chat send feedback? No. Man, you know what? This is complicated stuff. Okay, so I guess I don't see chat. I'll just see chat here, I guess. Oh, Mr. I sent me a message. LOL, yep. Chat is disabled. Ah, for fuck's sake. Man, that sucks. All right, so if you can see, can you see the glasses? Mr. I, can you see? Yes. All right. Chat is disabled. Fine, no problem. Yes. Okay, fantastic. So this is see, people think that like everything in life is really hard. It's really not. It's really simple. You just have to break it down into like easier things to understand. So, okay. This is the XRPL. All right. This is the XRPL. And you put water and think of that as like your liquidity. Now, let's assume, shit, whatever. Let's assume that this was up to here for now. You know what? This is not going to work. Hold on a second. I have to do it this way. All right. So, see? Now we have water there. So this is your $5 to $10 price prediction. This is your liquidity at $5 to $10. Now, let's say you have one participant in the network. You pour in some liquidity. Okay? Next. All right. This makes more sense now. Now you have one guy. He got some liquidity. You have none left. So what do you have to do? You have to put more liquidity. So you go get more water. When you're done getting more water, sorry, this is like the funniest demonstration I've ever done in my life. You pour one guy some liquidity, and you pour another guy some liquidity, and you pour another guy liquidity. So now you have 4 participants in the network. They all have different types of liquidity needs. But your liquidity still isn't sufficient to support the 4 people, even though, you know, because if somebody comes here, or if somebody needs more in there, let's say this guy needs more. All right, now we're getting close to 0. So let's say this guy needs more. This is not an effective system. This is the problem with $5 to $10. It doesn't work because this is a representation of $5 to $10. But yet, people think that this is the potential of what a global liquidity system is. This thing has to be, for example, I will be right back. Excuse me while everything's ready. It's fun times. Man, chat's disabled. I wanted to read the chat so bad. If you're to serve the world, it should look like this at all times. Because then you never have to worry about this and 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 then all of them. So imagine there's 1,000 cups now. This thing constantly has to be able to sufficiently supply all of these guys without ever having issues. That is what a liquidity system should do. That is what a world reserve should be. Otherwise, what happens? It's called friction in the system. And if we are to eliminate or reduce that liquidity within the system, then bullshit. This thing needs to be sufficient. Now, if that thing isn't sufficient, it's not sufficient because there's not enough liquidity. Now, the liquidity is based off of the reflective token and price. So, because those tokens represent, because the tokens represent the amount of the pie. See, what like the tokens represent is kind of like everything in here. Like you own. Let's just say all of these were tokens. Well, every time a token is this and that, like you own a part of it. You own a percentage of the network itself. This thing pays you out. That's why you own the tokens. This thing has to rise in value to support these guys. To rise in value, the price of the tokens have to rise in value. If they don't rise in value, we have, I wish I could just toss the bucket and, if we don't rise in value, we have what we had before. And that is basic concept of what I saw in 2018, 2019. Because if you're trying to be a reserve currency, this is just awkward. If you're trying to be a reserve currency, you cannot do that. Or you cannot, if you're trying to sit in the middle of something, you cannot not do that and be it. You have to be doing that. So for that to occur, the thing in the middle has to be sufficient at all times. That means that the price of XRP cannot only go to $5, $10 like people said it would in 2019. It doesn't make sense. The people who said that are telling you, I don't understand what the XRPL is then. That's literally what they're saying. And if they don't believe that, then that's not my fault. But it's technically what they're saying. So, it's the same thing as like anyone who sits in an XRP space for 4 years and says, I hate XRP. No, you're saying you love XRP. That's why you sit there for 4 years. Hello? People who hate something don't do something. So that concept proves that the XRPL can never just be $5 to $10. And the fact that there were hundreds and thousands of people who literally thought that I'm dumb just proves that you just can't do basic fucking math. It's honestly that simple. You just could get cups and do a demonstration of how things work. It's really not that hard. And I'm just happy to see that a guy in Germany validates everything that people thought the XRP can and will be. And I hope that it turns out to be that way. And I hope that people are happy and stick around long enough to see that future. Because I would really like for people to be finally happy after waiting, regardless if you waited 1 year or if you waited, 6 years or seven, at least something. But what I can say is that regardless of what you see, whether it's in 6 months, in 12 months, in 15 months, in 24, um, this is just the beginning. And I'm going to just end it off with, I don't understand why everyone's in such a rush to sell something they believe is the future. If you believe this is the future, shouldn't you be trying to hold it on for as long as possible? It's like if you find a kid at 4 years old who you think is the next Wayne Gretzky, you don't just give up on the kid. If you're a scout, you continue to watch him. You don't just stop at 5, 6, and then say, yeah, maybe I'll come back later. You continue to see his development because you believe that he's the potential to be the next great one. So you monitor it, you watch it, you treat it like a baby. But yet people are in a rush to just sing kumbaya and sell and goodbye. Why? I don't know. I think a lot of people are here for the wrong reasons. They're here for get rich quick scheme. And they believed in the crypto rich overnight sort of stuff. And it's like, sure, if you were one of those lucky few, congrats, but it's not reality. And if there's anything I know in life, it's that, or if anything I've been taught at least, it's that what comes easy doesn't last, and what lasts doesn't come easy. So if you want to be that dude, go ahead and be that dude. But I can tell you one thing, 98% of people who win the lottery, they don't know what they're doing, and they're back in 5 years. But in 5 years, the majority of people who make money, they usually lose it. And if it's not in 5 years, it's at least in 2 generations. So, or 3. So, I say, don't worry about your investment. Make sure that your investment is safe and to the side. What you should be worrying about is not the future of XRP, the future of you. Make sure that you're ready for the future. XRP will be fine. You'll be fine if you own XRP, but it's you that you have to work on. And it's you that you have to develop, and it's your mind that you have to think differently. Think less about yourself and think more about growth. Yeah. You have to become the person you want to be before you are that person. It's if you aren't responsible to handle $1 million, why should you think you should be given 100,000? So that's just something that I just want to end it off with. And I think, whether it's mentally, spiritually, I don't know, physically, learning, knowledge, just lifestyle habits. If you're drinking every day and getting smashed and waking up at 2 p.m., doesn't matter how much money you win. Yeah, you're already down the bad path, and you need to fix that before the money fixes you, because the money won't fix you. It'll just destroy you. So, hopefully this is some good advice for some people, and hopefully it helps people. I'm going to go pick up my car now because I've been waiting for that thing all day. And I'm going to be leaving to Mexico in 5 days. 5 days for quite a bit. Just going to go have some fun, catch some sun, and maybe meet a few Chiquitas, and maybe see a friend of mine down there. So, yeah, man, take it easy. Peace out. Have a good one. Hopefully you like this liquidity stuff. Sorry if the presentation isn't exactly Harvard standard material, but this is the DeVry class. So welcome to DeVry, everyone. Have a good one. Have a great day, and we will chat later. Peace out.